is so good to see all of you. I hope everybody had a good summer. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I had a great summer. And it's not quite over yet, although it'll be over quicker in Chicago than it is in some other places, because it can get cold here, let's face it. Michelle sends her love. Malia and Sasha say hi. Bo, Sonny, they all send their regards. I haven't seen many of you in a month, a couple months. In some cases, I haven't seen you in longer than that. The main purpose here is for me to say thank you for the extraordinary efforts and support that all of you have put in making us a step closer to what I believe will end up being one of the wonderful institutions of Chicago. I'm not going to be able to single everybody out here, but I want to just single out a few people that I see, just because I haven't seen them in a while, or they were extraordinary. Our Alderwoman, Leslie Hairston, has worked and could not have been more helpful. I've got to acknowledge Tim and Zenobia Black, because as our resident historian, I don't know exactly what Tim eats, but he basically looks the same as he did when I first met him, like, 35 years ago? So the only person who looks better than him is Zenobia. So it is, but for those of you who don't know Tim, he has chronicled the remarkable journey of the south side of Chicago for many, many years, and we're lucky to have him here. So just thought I'd give a little shout out to Tim. By the way, I see a dear friend, George Rainey there, who I have not seen in a long time. So I'm thrilled to have him here, and I'm going to look forward to say he was one of our great civic leaders when I was here, and has not stopped all these years, and was one of my earliest supporters, so I just want to give him a shout out. I've said this before, but I want to repeat it. I got my start right here. This is where I became a man. This is where I learned how to work in communities. This is where I came to the belief that when you involve people and engage people and empower people, that good things happen. My first apartment is literally down half a block down the street on 51st and Blackstone. And I did not have an actual bed. I had a mattress that I would roll up and put in the closet every night, or every morning, and then unroll in the evenings, which saved me having to make my bed, but also was because I was broke. This is where I learned how to organize. This is where I was baptized. This is where I met my wife, who grew up about a mile from here. This is where my children were born. This is where I purchased my first house. This is where I won my first political race. This is where I lost my only political race. This was the base from which I was able to launch a U.S. Senate race. And this was the foundation upon which I ran for president. This community has given everything to me. And so when Michelle and I talked about where are we going to put our library, our museum, center, our activities, there was really no other choice for us than here. And what we also said to ourselves is, how do we give back? How do we make sure that this center, this museum, is a tribute to, not us, but a tribute to all the people and the forces in the community that helped to make this so special. How do we make sure that it is a museum that is consistent with the extraordinary collection of museums we have along this lakefront? How do we enhance historic Jackson Park so that it becomes a vibrant, vital place for families and our young people, and it matches the extraordinary activities that so often we see in other parts of the city but don't always see here? How do we shine light on the history of this community so that all of Chicago comes to appreciate the contributions that have been made here? How do we make sure that the community benefits from our presence? Because if we're attracting 500,000 or 1 million visitors, presumably they're going to want something to eat. And they're going to want to learn more about the businesses and the arts and all that the South Side has to offer.
Play golf too.
Well, there you go. And so this is this was our intention, but I've never built a presidential library before, and so what was important for us was to make sure that how we did it was consistent with that message I learned when I was 25, 26 on the South Side, which is making sure that we're involving the community in the process. And we were lucky and blessed that we had people, some of whom I've known for years, like Leon Finney, who master organizer par excellence, that we're still doing good work here in the community. Young leaders who we hadn't met before because they weren't born when we got here, but we're emerging and giving voice to the hopes and aspirations of a new generation. And that's what we've been able to do, is to draw on all the talents, all the gifts of so many people, from educators to nonprofit leaders to elected officials to clergy. The University of Chicago has been an extraordinary partner in helping us think through how to design this. And at each stage, the designs have gotten better and better and better, because all of you knew what it is that the community needed. Better in some cases than we did. And all of you weren't shy about telling us what you thought was needed in order to make sure this was effective. So, so the main message I guess I have here today is that we are, thanks to all of your efforts, close to getting this thing going. And it is going to be not a quick project. It turns out that building something takes a long time. But as you've seen, I think, from the images and the design meetings that we've had and so forth, not only do we expect this to be the kind of museum that makes Chicago and the South Side proud, a companion to the Museum of Science and Industry, so that you have a museum campus south that can match with the museum campus downtown. But the enhancements that we are going to be bringing to the park, the landscaping, the facilities, the gardens, the Michelle's Gardens, the ability for us to partner with schools, the ability for us to fill this magnificent part of the city up with people and life and activity is something that I'm hoping generations of Chicagoans are going to enjoy for years to come. And it can potentially be an anchor for the kinds of renewal and economic activity and opportunity that so many of you have worked for so very long. And we are going to continue to work with all of you to make sure that this gets done on schedule, on budget, because that's something I really care about. But we're well on the way to raising the money that's necessary to make it happen. And my hope is that you will be as fired up and as ready to go to get this thing moving and get it done as you have been throughout this process. So thank you so much to all of you for everything you've done and everything that I know you will continue to do.